Don't you think they're a bit overdone nowadays? A lot of them anyway. And you just sit there and you think, how expensive is this? And why doesn't that young couple just put the money into a deposit on a flat or something like that? I'm sorry, that's how you get feeling very practical about these things as you get older. But other people have noticed it as well. And in fact, weddings are now being called a sort of arms race for the middle class. In other words, they're just trying to get ahead of the last wedding all the time. Social media these days, of course, are partly to blame, awash with these YouTube videos of extravagant ceremonies and proposals, many of them costing many thousands of pounds. Well, anyway, there's this new research out by Country Life magazine that's found that the past 10 years has seen weddings getting bigger and brasher and more expensive. Is it the celebrity culture? I think everybody wants to get their wedding to sort of okay or hello standards. Let's talk to Daisy Amodio, who's the founder of The Proposers, and that's a company that arranges proposals. Good morning there, Daisy.
Good morning.
Would you agree with me that actually a lot of weddings are really, it is like an arms race? They're just trying to be bigger and better than the last one.
Oh, I completely agree. I think I'm in that sort of age range where there's just weddings every single weekend, and every single person wants to outdo each other, because at the end of the day, you don't want the worst wedding out of your friendship group. You want the best wedding. It's the biggest day of your life. So there is quite a lot of pressure on people, to go that extra mile.
And do you think it's probably Facebook more than anything, but Twitter and all other forms of social media, that's buying into this? Because you all the time, when you open a newspaper nowadays, there's a headline about somebody doing some amazing wedding, and it's going viral on YouTube or something. And that's probably what it's all about now, isn't it? Showing off, really.
Exactly. The thing is, the second somebody gets engaged, the first thing they do is they post it on social media to tell the whole world before they've even told their immediate family. And that's the way things are going these days. And I think it comes down to the celebrity culture. You've got people like Kim Kardashian and Kanye West that got engaged in a big baseball field, and they spent probably £1 million on it. And I get normal guys call me up and say, well, they want that as well, because they've seen that, and their girlfriend has seen that, and they want a great story. But obviously they can't quite afford that, so we're having to try and think outside the box to get exactly what they want.
Trying to sort of calm them down a bit.
Yeah.
Because I remember having this argument, well, it was a friendly argument, with a cab driver who was driving me from London one day. And he was telling me how that he wanted to make his fiancée happy. So they were spending 20 grand on their wedding, because it had always been her dream. And he said, I want to make her happy. And obviously she wants to be able to show off in front of her friends. And I said, but 20 grand could be a deposit on a flat. This is just going to be one day, and what if it rains, sort of thing. But he said, no, she wants it. It's been her dream always. Is that what it's always usually about, the bride's dream?
Well, I think quite often it is. I think, not all brides are like that. But if I'm going to talk about myself, I thought about that all my life. I wanted the dream wedding. I'd seen all these, movies, and I wanted it. And I didn't care how much it was going to cost. I had to have that big wedding, and I wanted it to be better than everybody else's that I'd gone to.
Well, you've bought into this old business now, because you've got a company that now arranges proposals. Now, in my day, a proposal, if you were lucky, was a chap sort of thinking ahead and getting a ring or something. And if you were really, really lucky, he might, pop it in a glass of champagne in a restaurant meal. But now, what sort of elaborations do you have to go to?
Oh gosh! Well, now everybody wants a story for social media, and they want to tell their friends and their family, and they want this big story. And don't get me wrong, there is absolutely nothing wrong with just getting down on one knee and proposing in your living room. But this day and age, people want a bit, they want it to be unique and personalised. So we've done things from £500. The highest we've ever done a proposal for was 150 grand. And they're all completely different.
Sorry, I'm still in shock here. 150 grand on a proposal. Okay, can you give us any detail at all there without giving too much away?
I can give a little bit. It was there was a celebrity involved. It was in Monaco. It was overlooking the sea. They had 15 grand worth of flowers. So it was pretty impressive. But he's got that money, so to him is probably £500 plus.
Okay, I suppose if you've got the money. But a proposal, this is interesting. A proposal surely is still a very private thing between the two people. Or nowadays, do you get everybody else involved and have a big band show up and things like that as well?
I would say it's 50-50. Some people want it to be completely private. They never want any pictures to go on social media, and it's all about just them. And then the other 50%, they want to do a flash mob in the middle of Covent Garden with 1,000 people watching because they want to shout it from the rooftops that they're in love.
Yeah. Okay. And again, it's down to whether you have got the money, I guess. But interestingly, Country Life magazine, who I guess you could say is very upmarket, or at least thinks of themselves as that, they are calling for restraint. They say a classic wedding really should be quality, not quantity. Without being too snobbish, haven't they probably got a point?
They have, but they need to remember that everybody's different and everybody likes different things. For some people, they're not bothered about quality. They just want, they don't want that. They want the creativity. They'd rather spend all their money having really cool, quirky things that people go away and go, that was different. And some people, want the best champagne and the best food. Everybody's different, and I don't think anyone can judge.
So nowadays, you go big on the proposal, if you can. You go huge on the wedding. You probably go big on the stag nights and hen nights as well, don't you?
Well, they're all in Vegas and Miami, and they're all over the place. I can't tell you how many. I mean, my own hen do was 2 nights away in Edinburgh, which I thought was quite normal. My friend was a week in Vegas, a week in Ibiza. It's costly.
I know. I read recently of a woman who said the ultimate nightmare plane journey was going to somewhere wonderful, and she realised that most of the plane was a hen night. They were all going out for a hen week somewhere in Las Vegas or something. The whole plane was full of women who determined to have the best night of their lives, and that must have been the flight from hell. Well, there you go. That's the way. But will it stop? It will, I suppose, come to a natural conclusion somewhere along the line. It can't just grow and grow, can it?
I don't know. All I know is that people want it to be personalised these days. We have couples that come to us that have been married for 40, 50 years, and they want to do something great for their anniversary, but they don't just want to go to the theatre or for dinner like they do for the last 40 years. They want to do something exciting, so they come to us and we learn all about them, and we create something that's completely personalised for that couple. Whether it costs £500 or 10 grand, it doesn't matter. It's been thoughtful, and I think that's the way things are going. People want unique.
Well, that's a trend more towards, as Country Life would say, quality, not quantity. What is the most weird, unusual proposal you've ever choreographed?
The weirdest one was when, I've had to abseil into a cave. I've done some really crazy stuff, but the weirdest is when the couple said, the guy said she loves cats, and cats had to be involved in the proposal. So we found a cat cafe where they serve cake. There was 50 cats. We hired the whole thing out. We dressed up the cats as waiters, and one of the cats had the ring. There was a jazz singer singing a cat song about them, and they had cake, and they loved it. And it was her perfect proposal because that's what she loves.
Weird, but as I can definitely agree, wonderful. Very impressive, I suppose. Let's hope they're still happy. Thanks very much indeed, Daisy. I'm so lucky that I got married at a time when the thing was to just escape the two of you to a beach somewhere and get married on a beach, anywhere. And we got married on a beach in Australia.